Two Guys in a Buzz here, back at you. We have an awesome guest today. It's Mike Wilson, my brother. How you doing? So, how's everybody been?
I'm good, man.
Yeah?
It's good. How was your week?
Good.
Nothing new? Nothing happened?
Not really.
I went to that parade in Chicago, the Magnificent Mile. Froze my fucking ass off. Great parade. It's not as magnificent as you think it might be. The floats, you imagine like big floats. These things are not as big as like the Macy Day Thanksgiving parade. They're smaller floats. There's like 3 floats.
Yeah.
And it's like we were down towards the end by the grandstand where they all have to stop for like the camera and shit. So like a lot of it was like stop and go. But it was nice. I mean, they had their some celebrities singing, no one famous, but some artists singing and lit up the roads. It's cool because each block they go down, the lights light up on the road. And so they get to the end, then Mickey Mouse says whatever he says, and then, you know. Apparently, there wasn't a lot of people there when we went, but that's because it was like sleeting, high winds, and 20 degrees out. Right. I guess on a normal year when it's not, like last year was really nice, I guess, so everyone was there. It was like 60 degrees. It was jam-packed. But we froze. We had a great time, but we fucking froze, because after they do the parade, there's a fireworks show. And the fireworks are nice, but dude, you got away from like the huddled masses, and you were just exposed to the wind, and dude, my feet were ice blocks walking back down Michigan all the way to Randolph to the train station. It was bad.
You ever notice that, okay, if you look at Chicago from the lake, the roads come in and then go like this?
Okay.
It's like they built it for the Canadian wind to come right into the, it's built to focus the wind down the streets.
Dude, it is.
I mean, you'll be walking forward and you're literally,
wind's just whipping right at you.
It's like a commercial or something.
Yep. Yeah, you turn the corner and it's just like...
Exactly. It's horrible.
But that was my day yesterday. It was a good time. We had a good time. Well, we spent the whole day up there. Went to a restaurant that was alright. I forgot what it was. Tre Soli's? Something like that. Some Italian. Tre Soli's. So it was alright. Italian restaurant. Pizza wasn't the greatest, but we had some octopus dish, which was shit.
Yeah.
Love that.
Do you like sushi? There's a place in Chesterton now open where Quiznos used to be, and it's awesome.
Oh,
right there across from Jewel Osco?
Yeah, that's a sushi place now?
Yeah, it's a sushi bar. It's awesome.
It's brand new though then, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
Okay.
It's pretty sick.
Because there's another sushi bar on the other side of Indian Boundary, right? Or is that the one? Maybe that's the one people are talking about.
Yeah, because the other side is Pizza Hut and Kmart.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
I have no idea.
Sushi. You like sushi? No?
Yeah, oh yeah. We have a sushi place right next to the Whole Foods at home.
Dude, I'll get the Strax's fucking sushi dishes they put in the plastic containers.
I like the crunchy roll.
Oh, crunchy rolls is shit. It's the shit. Can't go wrong, man.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was pretty much my week. Other than that, I just worked, so that was kind of just lame. But yeah.
Yeah, I hate going to work after something awesome. Like, whenever we went to that music festival, Bonnaroo.
Right.
Like, coming back to your normal life after that. Like, after 4 days there, you're kind of thinking, like, you can make it like that.
I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. Because after 4 days of Bonnaroo, my body is racked. Just straight racked.
Yeah.
Like, because I've taken vacation days to go to Bonnaroo. And we've gone and visit your mom. So we take like a week or something. We make a whole fucking ordeal out of it. Yeah. But I need a vacation after fucking the vacation to Bonnaroo because I'm fucking white. Totally. Between drinking and walking fucking 35 miles in 3 days.
Eating sausages.
And standing in one... Yeah, and eating sausages and pizza and just all kinds of crap that you get there. I'm done. My body's white.
Not to mention you're getting beat on by the sun for 3 straight days.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll weaken you for sure.
Yeah, and if it's not the sun, it's like monsoon rain. So you're sloshing through mud. Dude, it's
Like it go sideways rain.
yeah, that sideways rain. It comes right at you.
Sideways rain. Rain that came up from underneath.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Parades. Whoever had the first parade? Somebody know that?
No, I have no
Google
idea.
knows.
Google would know. Where the parades begin. No, that was it. That was pretty much my week, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be a real chill day.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah. I like, you know what? Because I have to take American Sign Language.
Yep.
My professor right now is deaf, and he's got to be the best actor ever. You know, just like because he's got
like
to
a
be so
legit
expressive
actor.
because he's deaf, so he has to like show expression and sign,
Yeah.
and it's incredible.
Because with
Absolutely
sign language,
incredible.
it's facial expressions too.
Yeah, that's how you're expressing like whether it's a question.
Well, you got something on the parade.
We knew the answer to this.
Why?
During the triumphs, they marched the spoils of war through Rome, which included slaves, loots, prisoners, and so on.
Probably could have guessed that. That makes sense.
That's the first parade. Yeah,
Think
think of the floats there. And it's
Yeah.
Freedom.
And that drew massive crowds.
Everybody came to see that. Sure. As long as they weren't having their family on the fucking stick.
You know?
Yeah.
But you were saying facial expressions for sign language?
Yeah, so if I was gonna say like your name what?
Okay.
I'd have to furrow my brows, and by doing that, it's like showing you that I'm like investigating, like I need the question answered.
Oh, alright.
So that's how you. Then open eyes would be like another expressive of.
Like an exclamation point, like.
Yeah.
So if you brought your
That's
eyebrows
what's so
up and you
hard.
said what, you'd be like, you
Yeah.
want to start a fight, like what? What's
No,
up, dude?
no,
What's
or
up?
just
You got?
like, yeah.
Or
or
if you
just
throw it,
like-
you'd be like, what? What's
No.
going on? You bring them
Now
down.
you're bringing in like what we've done as a culture.
Yeah, that's, I'm like, yeah, that depends on the neighborhood.
Hey, I don't know.
Yeah, but the way he tells stories, it's just incredible.
Yeah, because he's very expressive.
Yeah,
has
and
to be.
hilarious too.
Oh, really?
And I think and the whole thing too, he's like Yoda because he's like literally testing you to see if you can keep up with his stories. Because I'm supposed to be in the third level of it right now, so it's like in some things I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't even like. If you look down for a second, you've missed like 2 signs maybe.
Yeah.
So now it's like when we take tests, you have to do it like a couple times, or it has to be because
Really?
yeah, it's hard learning another language, especially. But this one's like just acting pretty much, but you have to know your signs because they mean different. Like this is different.
Your 2 fingers crossed.
Yeah, different.
And then pull them apart.
Make an X like with your first fingers, and then bring them apart, and that's different, right?
Yeah.
But then I can use that as a conjunction when I'm telling you something. So I go to the store, buy something, but
Oh, because that could be but. Yeah.
I don't have any money. And so that's like the conjunction I can put in there. So it just has 2 different things, and a lot of signs
Which
are like
makes
that.
sense.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense to do that. You can only have so many signs for each thing. It's
some
good
of
for
them
you
are
for
just-
learning that, man, because that's gotta be tough.
I wish I would have. Yeah, I really. It's nice. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing it more. And
That what?
especially just gosh, just that remember that remix you showed me of that song, and it was just the ASL videos edited together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just somebody took that. I bet they were learning ASL, and they had to watch those videos because I have like the updated videos of those.
Yeah.
Now as my homework.
Okay.
And so it's just hilarious because I bet, and even though it's kind of maybe mocking the culture,
I don't
it's
know
still
if it's
funny.
mocking it. It was just, it's just funny.
It's like a song about what was it?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I don't remember.
It was hilarious though.
Yeah. All right, Michael. What? Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, what's going on?
Welcome to the show. Let the viewers know. Didn't mean to rhyme that.
Okay.
Dr. Seuss is in the house.
What do you do, man?
No, I'd rather not discuss that.
All right, that's no problem with that, man.
I
I've known you for a while. You've always been a very opinionated person. So I was very, very excited to get you on the show because I can't wait to dive into whatever we got and just vibe off of whatever you're feeling, man. Because I know in the past we've always not argued, but always gotten some good discussions.
Yeah,
no,
real talk.
there's really no reason to argue.
No, that's.
I mean, you're not going to help anybody either learn something or see your point of view or learn that you were wrong and see their point of view by being an ogre about things.
Right. Right. I've actually asked some people to come on here, and some of their first reactions are, I don't know if you'd like what I have to say, and it's like we're not doing this show to argue and to push our agenda. We're up for discussion, and at no point are we going to down someone else's opinion. And I think some people are used to that, where there's no discussion, it's just telling each other, this is how it has to be, or this is my point of view, and I don't want to hear it, but you need to listen to what I gotta say.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's not why we do this show, you know what I mean? So it's really cool. That's why I love doing it. That's why I love bringing anybody that wants to come on. You know.
Now, as far as what you're saying, I agree. But on the other hand, the fact of the matter is whether a person knows it or not, every person has an agenda.
Yeah.
That's true with communication.
Yeah.
It's true in real life, too.
Yeah, but that's definitely comes out of what you.
I wouldn't say you don't have an agenda. What you're not trying to shove your ideology down someone else's throat. But you do, in fact, have an agenda to inform people of your ideology.
Right. It's just the difference is if people are open to hearing other people's ideas.
Yeah,
or
I've been listening to the show for a while.
So.
I agree with quite a few of your ideas.
Yeah.
And some I differ.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. That's why it's real talk. Because I was thinking about it, it's rough sometimes because you're like, talk about these things and you hope people, take what they can from them or whatever. And I don't know. You just wonder, like, what's the point after a while, right? Like having conversations and. It's all still just talk.
I've gone the other way. I've actually since we started this show have enjoyed talking more with people and enjoy the back and forth. Like just whether it's at work or family or whatever, just I enjoy the back and forth now. Maybe I am getting a little more opinionated, a little more stern on my point of views, but I still enjoy the conversation. So it's having a lot of fun.
See, I got to that point when I was around your guys' age.
Okay.
Give it about 7 more years and you'll find that you become open-minded again.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just, I would say in the last 5 years, actually, I got to a point where the opposite of what you're saying, where is it just talk? I mean, I actually changed a few of my views and ideologies based on new information that I was able to acquire from legitimate sources.
Yeah.
And that sort of healthy discussion does, in fact, change people's lives.
For sure.
But they have to be intelligent enough to understand the topics, and they have to be willing to seek out the information.
Right. A lot of closed-minded people, man. That's why you don't grow as
a society.
There you go, man.
It has become stagnant because information is more readily available than it's ever been. But nobody actually goes and gets the information. They'd rather Facebook or Twitter. I mean, Twitter's for twits. If you're spending your time on Twitter instead of researching something, I mean, I feel like if you don't learn something new every day, you're not productive to society.
Right.
I make it a goal to learn as many new things as I can, as often as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only through education. You know, I know it sounds cheesy. It's Mortal Kombat there, but there is no knowledge that is not power.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it's bullcrap knowledge. Now you know what's bullcrap.
I've got the power.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, you figure out something that you've been told or something that's been pushed out as fact
Okay.
is bull.
Yeah.
Well, now you know that's bull at least.
Right.
So that knowledge still is power. You know that fake knowledge no longer has power over you.
Yeah.
You have overpowered that fake knowledge.
Yeah. Well, there's been so much stuff on Facebook lately, especially with the refugee thing, and and with the attack in Paris, they kept showing that one, and I don't know if it's the actual picture of it, but it was a bird's eye view of bodies laying apparently in the theater.
Oh, yes.
They said this is what a gunless society looks like, but I was like, if you think about it, even us with, out our gun laws, you still can't bring your gun into a concert.
Right.
The facility won't let you.
Won't allow
so it's kind of like a.
That depends on your state.
That I was just gonna. Yeah, you're right about that because Texas, you sure as fucking.
Texas, Alabama,
you
Georgia.
Sure as fucking. You sure
That sounds so.
I'm sorry.
We're in a party.
It's not bad.
Gosh.
Yeah, you're right. Well, now, if you go the other round, let's say everybody in that concert hall or whatever they call it had a gun.
Was strapped.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody's got a gun.
The terrorists
and then
would have been dead.
this terrorist right, but do you think there would be even more, I don't want to say more
There would be
casualties?
far less. The first couple people that got shot, everybody else was like,
Just take them out?
I mean, wouldn't you?
I would think.
Yeah.
I would hope that it wouldn't cause panic.
I know.
Where people didn't know who was actually firing and then started firing off on people. Because everybody's now got a gun. And everyone's waving their guns
I would
around.
say that even if that happened and only 50 people died,
Right.
that's still only 50 people.
Rather than, what was it?
Like 100 or something.
Well, no, it was 120 total.
Yeah.
120 something total. I don't know how many died in the concert. I hear what you're saying though.
So
80, I believe.
if the number is marginalized, you have succeeded in making it safer. There is no such thing as safe unless we're all going to get Pope bubbles and walk around in Pope bubbles. I can't. I'm used to living in a house.
We're going to duct tape pillows on your feet.
Give me some pillows.
Yeah.
But okay, let me just. What if this happens? Like, say, okay, so these gunmen come in with automatic weapons and they fire off, right? Everyone busts out their gun.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are by that gunman,
They're toasted.
they know they kill that guy. They pow 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 pow. Everyone else has their guns out. Everyone sees everyone else with guns, but no one knows who's actually shooting. Do you think there's a possibility that just massive shooting just happens, like a riot?
I don't
with guns
I don't
in this concert
I don't
hall?
find that likely because people are going to look at the people that are immediately next to them and realize that those were people that were just partying and wearing their Slayer shirt,
Right.
and they're all looking around as well for bad guys. I would think
That most people
to
that
be
duck and
honest
cover.
with you, the people that would be that,
brass to come just
are
go
the
right
kind of
into
people that
shooting.
are the kind of people that often can't even, they've got something mental in their background and can't get a gun, or they've committed felonies and can't get. They can only have a shotgun or a rifle. They can't walk around with a handgun. They can't have it.
Felons.
Well,
I
you also have family members you can steal the guns from and whatever else.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, oh,
In
yeah.
some states, they still have those
You can
trade shows
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
where there's
You
Texas.
can go to Ohio,
Yeah.
Canton, Ohio, and just go buy a gun and be like, "Here's your gun, here you go."
I know Texas with the refugees, they were saying one of their arguments were they didn't want to bring refugees into their state because with their gun laws currently, if they brought them in, that they could just easily get a gun. And if they were terrorists or whatever, extremists, that they would be able to get a gun no problem. And that's why they didn't want them there. And some people were putting up the argument that maybe you shouldn't have such relaxed gun laws in the first place. I don't think it's a good argument to say that's not why we're going to bring refugees in, but that's what was one of, I don't know if it was the governor or a senator, but someone in political office, that was their argument.
Well, my argument would be that their gun laws are clearly too lax. They should at least have to have, you know, a state driver's license, federal ID identification of some kind to purchase it. If you're not an American citizen, you shouldn't be able to buy a gun here in America. You know, and as far as the refugees, I mean, I don't see why we don't do this number. Okay, we don't know that maybe some of them are terrorists. We don't know that. We don't know that maybe some of them got super Arab flu of death from Arab land and
some kind of disease.
Yeah, some kind of strange Ebola or what. There's a million diseases out there that we don't have here that maybe one of them could have.
Okay.
We got all these FEMA camps. There's like one in every state, and they're all empty.
Right.
Why not bring them in, put them in the FEMA camps, feed them, close them, you know, all that stuff. Check them all out. Do background checks on them, fingerprint them. You know, if we find any terrorists, if we find any sick people, we try to help them. If we can't, then, you know, I mean, what can we do?
Right, okay.
And then whoever's left that's not sick or a terrorist, we integrate into society.
I think that's pretty much what the protocol is.
Why are we not doing it?
I forgot what they call it, but they basically screen everybody that comes in, and they put them in some kind of, let's just call it a camp, I don't know what they would call it, but they put them in a camp, they run them through the database. I'm sure they check them, blood, test them for whatever, diseases, see what, who they are, what they got, and they sit in those camps for a while. I was just watching a video where I think there were some refugees in Norway, if I'm not mistaken, and they've been there for like 8 months.
Yeah, it's usually 6 months to a year.
You sit there for a while. Right. It's not like what people, like, I'm assuming might think that, like, people, the refugees come in the United States and instantly get integrated into the populace.
Well, and that's how they're thinking, because they're thinking of, you know, Mexican-American immigrants.
Okay.
The ones who come here, what they don't realize is the ones who come here legally have to go through that same indoctrination process.
Right.
And the ones who come here illegally they're in violation of the law.
Yeah.
They're typically sent back.
Yeah, jumping the border and just
you know,
going and meet their family or whatever.
The thing is, you don't try to become an American by first breaking our laws.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Please come in the right way.
Right.
And then everything will be fine.
Yeah. And
I actually got some stuff from online, some opinions, because there was so much debate. And one of them
what the
was,
fuck you got in your ceiling? Sounds like there's goddamn mice in the ceiling. Doesn't that sound like mice?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, what are you saying? You got.
Okay, so
Never mind the
I'm
mice.
not usually one to state my opinion via Facebook, but I'm sick of seeing the constant posts and keeping my mouth shut to maintain the peace and be respectful. I'm not for bringing Syrian refugees into our country.
Sirens.
It's cold in here. I'm totally on the Trojan horse side of the argument.
Right.
I'd rather it cost their country innocent lives than my country. I by no means want to live in fear and mistrust the entire world. I'm not heartless, but I'm not delusional either. The answer to this seems obvious. You can't fight evil with a bleeding heart. And
So that's a person. Well, that's a person that. Okay, so what she's saying is she don't want anybody coming over here because a Trojan horse. So they're disguising this people coming over. They're gonna sneak in the few people, right?
the siege, the
key players.
From what I've understood, from what I've known, someone put something on Facebook too that I saw, and it was like 60-some people that got busted for terrorist act. Some of them were refugees, but they were all from like Bulgaria or somewhere not. None of them were from Syria. Most of them were actually Americans turned themselves towards ISIS or some kind of, or just took it on themselves. They became Muslim and took it on themselves so this whole Trojan horse thing, that doesn't scare me. Okay, let's just say a couple do come over here. You're gonna stop people that are in need, that are in war torn areas in Syria, you're going to stop them from trying to better themselves because maybe a few people come over here.
Right, like
you
a
know,
few ruin it for the rest.
It seems like you're letting fear dictate what being an American, quote unquote, should be.
You're definitely not using common sense.
Right.
Okay? I mean, if you look at, you know, what could be done and the screening process that could, you know what I mean? There's no reason for us to not help these people.
Yeah.
And just to focus on this, you can't fight evil with a bleeding heart. Well, I would quote one of my personal heroes, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said, you cannot fight darkness with darkness, you can only fight it with light. And you cannot fight hatred and intolerance with hatred and intolerance. Only love can defeat it.
It's great, man. I mean...
Well, here was another, this was a reply that I saved from someone else. They should have a choice. You can totally have your opinion, but if you went to countries that are taking in refugees and talked with them, there is no way you would feel the way you do. They need help. They need to get out. If it wasn't that bad, people wouldn't be risking their lives like they are. Imagine what they are running from. If ISIS was to get in, or wants to get in, it's probably already here. Which I feel that's another fear tactic there. But do you think that opinion could be true? That if they did, they're already existing here?
I mean, if they really wanted to get in here, I mean, they could literally swim across from Canada. I mean,
yeah,
it would be it would seriously be way harder for them to come in through Mexico than through Canada.
Yeah.
And I don't see any reason they couldn't take a plane to Kamchatka, Russia, and just sail a little boat, like, what is it, 36 miles across the Bering Strait to Alaska?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come down through Canada on the train, jump the border. I mean, it's not that hard to get into this country through our northern border.
Right. Right. It's not highly protected. You know, you know what I personally think? I think they don't have to come here. First off, we're so scared that they could come here that they've already instilled the fear. Second, we have so many people that convert over. Now, I won't say so many, but we have people that convert over to radical Islam or whatever you want to call it, or Muslim, or just become some kind of terrorist to fight against the government. That ISIS does, they take, like that Russian plane that went down, they just take credit for it. Whether they did it or didn't, they take credit for it. It becomes that now they're the boogeyman, they're everywhere. Right. We have hands in all your fucking pockets, and all the fucking, we got people everywhere. I don't even think they need to bring people over here when we're already so scared of just the possibility of them maybe being here.
I don't think they need to come here. I mean, as easy as I just explained it would be,
right?
It's a lot easier for them to get to France, Germany, Spain, Turkey, you know, our allied countries, and terrorize them, which causes them to rattle the saber at us and say, America, do something about this.
Right.
Because for some reason, everybody hates us until, oh my goodness, we've been attacked. Oh, please help us, America.
Yeah.
By another way this was done was through these memes, like, let me get this straight, we have enough money to support 500,000 inbred savages, but not enough for our senior citizens to get a cost of living increase.
Well, you know, that is
a typical argument, right? Like, we have vets.
We got
50,000
vets right here in Indiana that are homeless.
Right. And so this person posted this. I'm guessing everybody's feed looks like this. Kind of simplistic mind frame thrown at a complex issue. I don't think there is a certain amount of peanuts to either give to refugees or veterans. Both populations need assistance. Y'all are acting like if only the Syrians weren't here, the veterans would have enough resources. The veteran issue existed way before the refugee debacle. What are any on my friends list doing currently to ameliorate the veterans' needs problem? These memes are less about helping veterans and more about a simplistic method of acting cool on Facebook by disliking Syria and Obama like everyone else. Do something Facebook posts. Don't do shit to help veterans or refugees.
can't argue with any of what he just said.
I mean, that was pretty
It's
good, man.
Right on cue, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, people bring up the vets and stuff when it only suits their needs, but not doing, you know.
It depends on the person. I mean, my grandfather was a veteran. My great-grandfather was a veteran. My wife is a disabled American veteran.
Okay.
My great-great-grandfather was a veteran. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when I think about veterans, you know, I'm thinking about my family.
Sure.
So, you know.
My brother was a vet.
I know.
Yeah, they need help, but they need help. The vets need help. You got a lot of homeless vets out there, right?
Yeah.
They for sure need help. I don't want to take nothing away from that. But to say that we should push these refugees and forget about these refugees because the vets need help, well, they've been needing help, and we still haven't been doing nothing or not enough for them.
I got a question, though. Didn't Virginia just take in some refugees?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Did
certain
they?
states are allowing it.
I
There
thought
a
Virginia
concept,
was
like-
one of them. You know, about
Okay.
3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
Virginia also ended veteran homelessness. There is no veteran homelessness in the state of Virginia.
How'd they do that?
By giving them all homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's pretty easy to buy foreclosed homes. and
Yeah,
homes that are
all
empty,
kinds
but-
of things, dude.
Okay.
They
I
you know,
always
turned
thought-
some buildings into apartments
Yeah.
and threw vets in there.
That's awesome.
If you
That
could
is
just
fucking awesome.
rebuild some of those houses in Gary and those buildings, and just
Oh my
It's
god!
South
You
Bend,
should
too.
get demo
We
fucking
have-
blocks
we
at a
have
time.
Empty buildings in South Bend, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
homeless veterans begging on almost every street corner in the downtown and uptown districts.
Right.
And they're, you know, wearing their military gear with their awards and everything on,
Yeah,
begging for money.
sitting on the street.
Yeah.
So, with all of this refugee stuff
Yeah.
and everything,
Yeah.
I saw this thing on the internet that
Right.
said, with everything going on that's so negative, it's good to see Charlie Sheen's positive.
Oh my god!
That's too much.
That is great, dude. That is so great.
No, it's bad.
It sucks for his situation, but that dude has done nothing to better his situation in how many
He
years?
tried to pay people off. And
He was paying people
That's
off.
what I'm saying. Like, but he couldn't sustain that life of paying because without a career,
I read something he paid up to like $10 million
ugh,
in bribes because
that's 2.5
and it's
men
and
money.
he's
you know that?
he's bribing hookers. It's not even like
And porn stars.
and porn stars because he would have to tell them I got HIV, and then they would turn around and blackmail him and say you need to now pay me fucking X amount of dollars, who knows how much.
Yeah.
But could you imagine how much money he was losing in bribes that it took? Because you know he's getting sued now by multiple amounts of
Right,
people
right,
for
right.
who knows how much money.
Right.
He was losing that much money that he'd rather knowingly get sued for millions of dollars that he had that he came out.
Well, he came out because he's just dead broke, and now he knows with publicity and stuff, he can maybe do something about it. And he thought no longer I would have to pay because they didn't want him to like just come out of the closet about it.
Oh, yeah.
so to speak. So now he's just come clean, but now he's still
lawsuits.
getting, yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's.
There's people that are like, I had sex with him in '86. And I'm like, I think I got it too. Yeah. There's men at work.
That work, right?
I don't know.
What happened to that guy, man? I mean, like his dad and his brother are they're from what we know.
Well,
Obviously,
Emilio
they're
kind
not-
of fell out, but
fell out, but he didn't get all the drugs.
Yeah.
From what we know.
Yeah, we
I
know
thought he
of.
had a coke problem, didn't he? Emilio
No.
Estevez did, yeah.
I picture
Well, he
him
had a different
doing
mom too, though. You know, they're half brothers.
Oh, the half brothers. Okay, all right.
That's why one's name is Estevez.
Yeah. Okay. I thought they're both
It's Sheen's the last name, but he goes by like his middle name, I think.
Okay. All right.
I think I saw it because it was weird. Like a lot of people have changed their names just by a little bit in Hollywood.
Just stage names or whatever.
Yeah.
That's rough, man. I guess he's had it for 4 years.
I have to say I like Charlie Sheen.
I like Charlie Sheen.
But if he was lying to people about having it just so he could have sex, that is fucked up.
Well, I don't think he was lying, but I think that's how he got hit with so many.
I think for $10 million bucks, I mean, one of these blackmails was $10 million. Okay.
No, I think it was the course of 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh well, still, I think for like $4 million, you could have like permanently invested in one prostitute.
Why is he running around like multiple prostitutes? Like,
just get one.
Right, you're the one person that I'm fucking with.
Yeah.
You're the only one that knows my secrets.
Oh,
I know some chicks that aren't prostitutes that for $4 million.
Sold. I'm with this guy now.
yeah.
Well, no one said Charlie Sheen was smart. Dude's got issues.
When he gets killed in Young Guns, I still like that blew my mind because he's such a, to me, like a big character at that time, and to have him taken out like early in the movie.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Really?
What?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
don't. I could have and just not recognizing
Young
the
Guns,
title.
dude. It's all about Young Guns.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you one line, and if you don't know what I'm talking about,
Then I definitely don't see it.
Right.
Sorry.
Did you guys see the size of that chicken?
No.
Oh man, you gotta see it. You gotta see that movie.
Young Guns. All right, I gotta put it on the list.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's in it.
Yeah,
I
everybody.
can let you borrow it.
Oh, you have it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
It's a must. Oh.
Put in my book as for my notes. Young Guns.
Don't watch two though.
Don't watch
Yeah,
two.
it's really not worth it.
Charlie
So,
Sheen.
yeah. Okay, so the first boy was in a Barbie commercial.
Sweet.
Okay, what was his role in this Barbie commercial?
He's just like one of the kids that's playing with them.
Okay.
So it's two girls,
Mhm.
and then it's the boy, and it was for Machino Barbie, which Machino is a Italian luxury fashion house specialized in ready-to-wear leather and fashion accessories. So they're just playing like with the clothing is on top of these Barbies that makes it the Machino Barbie.
The Machino. Okay. Yeah.
And so they're just playing with it, and the kid's like, you know, they're fierce.
Okay.
And then they continue to play, and I think he also says like Machino Barbie, you know, at the end. But it was a boy playing with Barbies with two girls as a commercial.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm saying wrong with that. I like playing with Barbies when I was.
You know what? I used to bring my.
Do you think? Go ahead. What were you saying?
I used to bring in my X-Men action figures and everything and play with my stepsister. I thought it was awesome. I'd be like fucking Cyclops and whatever else
Yeah.
and bring it in and just play. Here you go.
She's the most mosquito Barbie ever. Totally cool. Mosquito Barbie. So fierce.
Nothing can stop.
The most Pacino test T-shirt ever.
It's for you, Mosquito Barbie. Mosquito Barbie doll.
All right, I don't know that was. I don't know that was well done.
Are we positive that was real? Is that a legit
Yeah,
Barbie
I
commercial?
don't think it was aired in this country.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's an Italian fashion designer. Why would we care about that?
Yeah, I was
either,
gonna
right?
say, they look like they're
Why
from
would you
Jersey
speak
Shore.
English though?
No, a lot of do that just as for the main audience. You probably go by.
It's amazing how many people like over there actually speak English.
It's not amazing. I play PlayStation with them, and they think they speak English.
Yeah, well, compared to like Americans and how many foreign languages we know, you know, like we're not all learning a foreign language over there. They're all learning English for the most
Yeah, it's
part.
because they want to watch our TV.
Yeah, and our our TV, entertain celebrities, all that stuff. Music. I mean,
Yeah.
well, we were over there in Europe. I mean, that's what half the cab drivers were playing was American music, and it was surprising.
There's a lot of stuff they don't get to though. Like I got all kinds of friends over in Europe, and one of my friends from England came over and stayed with me for about 6 weeks.
All right.
About almost 2 years ago now, and you know there's a lot of stuff they don't get there. They have a band that's from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Called Cradle of Filth. All right.
All right.
Their records are not sold in England.
No?
No. So.
Why are they not sold in England?
They can't have Lucky Charms. They can't have Mountain Dew.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, they outlaw aspartame. aspartame,
Yeah.
right?
Oh.
Everything that's in fucking diet, all in diet shit
Right.
that we just pound down.
You can't have that. They can't have taurine.
Yeah. Yeah, they're way more strict
No,
on
believe
some of the
me,
stuff they
a
put
lot
in
of
diet.
things. They got no right to freedom of assembly.
Yeah,
They have no right to bear arms.
right.
And that's Europe-wide.
There's
The only
freedom-
countries that
right.
actually have freedom like us are actually a little more free, actually.
Okay,
And that's Sweden, Finland, and Norway.
right. The socialist fucking.
Yeah, but their
countries there.
economies don't work that well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they are freer.
There's a lot of good points to their economy, but there's some.
Really bad. They
People
actually
don't-
have less liquidity than we do on
Yeah.
the average. The average household here has more extra spending money than they do.
Yeah,
Which
there's
is-
some
wow, it just blows
suicide
my
rates.
mind.
Suicide rates are higher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
suicide's up.
Yeah, it's
It's like anything in this world: 6 of one and half a dozen of another.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what I was gonna say about the Barbie thing though, with the boy being on there, I wanted to. Do you think that we're nurtured to like for boys to play with trucks
Right.
and
It's- yeah,
girls play
conditioning.
with dolls? Is,
I
is
would
it
say
conditioning?
yes.
So you think it's conditioning?
Definitely.
100%.
Definitely. I shot up with guns, dude. I ran the woods with Joshua Rourke and all of them when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know, and shooting.
You don't
plastic
think
guns,
you
it's-
would naturally? Boys are naturally.
selecting these toys as like some kind of choice. As
Yeah.
growing
Let's just
up.
say, sake of argument, boy has no toys or something, and you put a doll down, you put a gun down, toy gun. Would you think you would naturally go for the gun? Like play with them both and then figure out I'm gonna go with this.
Can I say, is my mom around?
No.
Can I say?
No, I'm going for the doll.
Okay.
Can I say? Has this child seen Rambo?
No. Yeah. Well,
Because there's got to be other factors in there too.
right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, boys and girls get treated different right
Yeah.
from birth, right?
That's
Well,
good.
not from birth, but like
Yeah.
shortly after, when they start talking, you treat them differently. I got
Well-
a daughter on the way. I know. Yeah, I'm going to be roughhousing with her and playing with her and stuff, but I sure as hell am going to be playing dolls with her and stuff right off the bat.
Will
Just
your
because she's a girl.
testicles shrink from that?
My testosterone might drop. Who knows? They might shrink. Who knows?
No, I don't-
Become more soft.
I think definitely that's going to be great.
It's around, I would say, from experience,
Okay.
around 3 or 4, that your kid's going to come and tell you who they are. And you have a choice at
Right.
that point to be a reasonable, intelligent, and responsible parent and help them, or help them to live a tortured and sad life for many years.
Yeah, there's definitely too many people out there that their parents try to mold them in their own mind or their own idea.
Well, not just them. They use societal blockers to reinforce this ideology on the child.
Mm-hmm.
And every time the child strays from this, they use shaming or violence or whatever they have to put them back on the path they believe they should be on, when all you're doing is destroying that person mentally and emotionally to a point where they either become a danger to themselves,
Yeah.
a danger to others, or both.
Right.
And it gets to a point where either that person becomes a powder keg and people get hurt, or they come to the conclusion that they're going to tell everyone, I don't care what you think, I'm going to
Yeah.
be who I am
Well,
and
they
do what I
become self-destructive, man. I mean,
But it very.
very depressed and just
You know,
turn
they-
inward on
They've
themselves.
done studies, I can't remember what they were, but where you haven't conditioned the child yet, and you lay out these certain toys. But yeah, it's like, almost like a chicken and the egg thing, you know, like you
Yeah.
don't know if. But we definitely, as our society, we're nurtured. I mean, you can tell that immediately they kind of make you to where you're already pre-soldiering, right? I mean, I remember running around with guns and shooting. That might have been because I watched action movies when I was
Right.
younger and stuff. But
I think it's farther than that. I mean, look at, we have terrorism today. It almost seems like they knew terrorism was going to be a problem because G.I. Joe was America's #1 task
Right.
force against terrorism.
No doubt
Chuck
about it.
and Chuck Norris and Delta Force.
I mean, and it's like they were going to introduce women into the military too, because you had G.I. Jane, and you had
Lady J,
and
Scarlet.
Scarlet,
Yeah.
the Baroness.
Baroness,
Yeah,
Lady
that's true.
Baroness.
Baroness was the best.
Yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah, I never got in. I watched G.I. Joe, but I was not a huge
Oh, really?
fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, all my friends in England hate it too because
Really?
because one of the main bad guys is Major Blood and he's English.
Oh. Oh, shit. That's funny.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Did you hear that judge? Okay, I think you told me about this, John. The judge that removed the baby from the lesbian couple that were fostering this child. The judge removed the baby from them. You didn't tell me about this?
No, I've heard about that.
Okay,
I
so
don't
this
remember
judge,
speaking about
this lesbian couple was fostering this child
Yeah.
and was trying to adopt the child.
Okay.
I forgot what state they were from. Shit. Anyways,
Sounds southern.
probably I
it's
want to
not-
say
I think it's-
Louisiana,
Is
but I
it?
could be
Oh.
very much wrong on
That's
that.
pretty southern.
Could be very much wrong on that. Anyways, so they were fostering this child, trying to adopt, and the judge stepped in and said, "Nope, we're taking this child away," and they gave it to another couple,
Yeah.
or put it back in foster care. I'm not sure. Anyways, the judge then, after the huge uproar,
Right.
obviously,
Right.
changed his ruling and gave it back to the lesbian couple, and has now removed himself from the case completely.
What?
But people are now freaking out and want him completely out of power. They want him removed as a judge. So more of it is a happy ending in a sense to the situation, but the fact that it gets still. I mean, I know
Yeah.
gay rights gay rights to get married federally is still new and fresh. But geez, man,
Yeah,
the process of adopting a child
It's really hard.
is really hard.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that anyone that goes through the process and gets approved to foster or to adopt,
Right.
regardless if they're straight or gay, shouldn't matter. Because they're looking at the person as individuals, how their households are run, income, and they do this long, drawn-out process. It shouldn't be a problem. And then judges like this, you're just proven to be, not a hypocrite. I'm not trying to word,
But
what
to
words
try and
to
turn
use,
it
but
around.
Outdated and outmoded
there you go,
ideology.
man. There you go. It's absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that it's great
No,
with that. Now we have the tools of social media, this internet, and all that stuff that
Right.
everyone can just get on board and just blast these people where they have to change their tune.
Yeah. And get called out. Like Kim
Yeah.
Davis was called out.
Oh yeah.
She tried to take like the Pope back to her on stuff, and the Pope had to come out.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
I
Let me
never
tell
met
what
with
happened.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Just keep your distance.
Well, as far as that goes, then the Pope would be a hypocrite because the Pope allowed the canonization of 3 transgender priests recently.
He let okay.
There are
okay.
3 transgender Catholic priests.
Really?
Yes. 1 Methodist, 1 Baptist.
No shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I say that this Pope now is doing more changing than any Pope in the past.
Somebody was telling me there was a show about like the Pope, and he had like a tunnel that led him down underground to like some kind of sex parties he would have.
Sex
I mean,
party.
this is years ago. Years ago. We're
What?
talking. Yeah, we're talking-
If you're talking about
It's a TV show.
if you're talking about Rodrigo Borgia back in like the 1400s,
Yeah, okay,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
that's probably
true.
the show. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pope
Okay.
Sixtus. If
Alright.
you're talking about Pope Sixtus, who was Rodrigo Borgia, then
Yeah.
yes, huge sex parties.
What?
Oh yeah.
It's not really that surprising, but I've never heard that before, so that's crazy.
Oh yeah, that guy was in it for the power. They back then, being the Pope was like being the president of Eurasia.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
So-
right. When the Vatican is its own city and has its own rules, man, shows how much power. We were at the Vatican when went to Europe. That was cool.
Cool.
It was really cool. Got to see the Pope. Well, got to see him drive by.
Right, in the Pope-mobile with the bubble.
No bubble, because he was at the Vatican, so.
Oh yeah, well, security
he's
side.
safe there.
Yeah.
He's safe there.
It was just a twin.
Just it wasn't really a Pope. Just some man.
Yeah.
Some man.
He's like, send the stunt double out.
Yeah. Yeah, Vatican was cool though. That museum is phenomenal, and it is insanely huge to the point where you're like, oh my God, I can't look at any more freaking art and relics and just I gotta get through this thing.
Right.
But some of it's really fucking cool.
You could totally be the ugly American, right? Like a rascal.
Yeah.
Dude, I refuse to drive in Rome. Rome is so terrifying. It's small streets. I don't know how the buses get around in that place.
Oh, I know.
It was insane. I thought we were gonna crash like 12 times on that fucking bus.
Crazy.
My wife complained of the same thing when she was stationed there in the military.
It's crazy.
She said she liked being on the Sicilian island better than actually being on the mainland.
Okay.
Because there's less, I mean, the roads weren't any wider, but there's a lot less traffic.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as scary, but it's like 99 miles an hour, wall to wall. She said, she's like, whoa.
Tight little, tiny cars. Everyone has these tiny little cars.
Yeah, because the roads are tiny.
And mopeds up the ass, which is the preferable way of driving because it's just everything's so tight.
Makes you feel like you just want to take a monster truck down.
Yeah, it really does. I'm just gonna hug all the road, my Hummer first edition.
Speaking on all of that, a man whose wife was a NYPD officer and was killed on 9/11
Oh yeah.
has returned her Woman of the Year award from Glamour magazine after the publication gave the same award to Caitlyn Jenner, saying it was a slap in his wife's face, and yeah.
Well, he wrote to them first, and then they said they stood by their award to Caitlyn Jenner, and then he sent the award back.
My question is, did he give the award back because Caitlyn's transgender? Or did he give the award back because Caitlyn is a bad person?
I think the argument is that he never. I don't know. I don't know obviously because I don't know this guy. But I think the argument is that so this woman that she was the first only female police officer to get killed in 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
So they're honoring her for being an outstanding woman.
Okay.
And Caitlyn Jenner's getting awarded for
coming
out as transgender.
But let's narrow what possibilities it can be, because other than that, it could be that he's a man.
So
and he's upset about that, right? Because he clearly, and he can't win the Woman of the Year award because he's a man.
But he's not a man.
Well, that's right. So, but if he doesn't agree with that, he could have done it.
Well, then
that's one reason. That's one reason why he could have sent the award back.
Or he's upset that his wife died in 9/11 and now is being disgraced by a transgender getting an award for just coming out of the closet.
Well,
and that being more important.
My question is it because she's a transgender, or is it because? I mean, let's be honest here. When she was Bruce, she was not a good person. It's not like she just became a good person.
Right.
You know, unless she came to some realizations, and you know, I just don't see. I mean, she came out against gay marriage just recently.
Okay.
I don't see where she became a good person or a more open person.
Yeah.
She's still that
same person.
Same person.
She's just a female.
Prettier show.
Right. So maybe that's the argument, is that you're honoring someone that came out as transgender,
and that's really all.
And that's really right. That's really all she's done. She has not become a better person. She's not doing better things for society,
and won
for
some
humanity,
Olympic gold medals.
Right.
As not Caitlyn Jenner though.
Not as Caitlyn. Right.
So,
I know. She also got an ESPY award. She also got an ESPY award earlier this year, and that's for it's a sports award.
Mm-hmm. I know what the ESPY is.
Right.
ESPN.
And there was a big uproar on that too, because
She hasn't competed in any athletic competitions since the 80s.
And again, what is she doing that is so, besides coming out, and that's a lot of motivation for other people to be coming out. But other than that, is she a better person herself, right? And that was the argument. Like, I listened to this guy, he's an MMA fighter, and he was an ex-wrestler, college, all this stuff, and he goes to the Congo and digs wells for the pygmies over there, and he's doing all kind of humanitarian stuff out there. That's someone I would see that should get that award.
Well, it's a woman of the year.
Not the ESPYs.
Oh,
the ESPYs is just for sport athletes.
Like when Urlacher used to build homes for the
There you
Habitat
They
for
count
Humanity in
mixed
the
martial art
summer.
as a sport now?
Oh, yeah.
ESPN. I mean, it's big time, man. Big time.
Well, as far as if it's about bigotry, then I don't agree with it. If he's giving it back because she's not a good person,
right?
I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's not. I'm in the middle of becoming a woman right now. Okay, and I'm on HRT, but I had to come to realizations over a several year period and literally become a better person before I could even admit to myself that was the problem. I'm not even sure that he's not doing it for publicity or what,
Yeah.
because he's seeking attention. I mean, it might not be for legitimate reasons.
Right.
So
yeah,
I don't know. I didn't agree with her getting the Woman of the Year award. I thought there were the first two Army Rangers, female Army Rangers, to ever make it, to ever pass and become Army Rangers.
Yeah.
How about one of them?
For sure, right? For sure. For sure. That's huge.
Yeah. I mean,
Can never really go wrong with that. Like,
all she did was have a sex change, and if that's the standard now, then all transgenders should get some
You're
sort
right.
of
You're
an
absolutely
award.
right. Because as inspiring as that is for other people that want to be transgender, you're not a better person.
No.
You haven't been a better. You're not a better. You're just.
It has
Not
exhibited
deserving.
the same old behavior.
Yeah. Went right back into getting a TV show. Fucking, it was just like more a publicity stunt to get some money going for herself.
It's almost like he lost a bet and he's just pretending this because he's like,
yeah, right.
He's like, yeah, it could get me a show.
He bet on the Packers recently.
Oh man, how'd the Bears do today? Anyway,
They came close. They lost by 2.
Oh.
Well, it's the #1 defense in the NFL. They shut everybody down.
Yeah, well, they were hopeful because Peyton Manning was not in the game.
Oh no, he's not good. So
Yeah.
he's too old. He's got Vinny Testaverdiitis.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about the first full facial transplant?
In France, right?
Yeah, no,
It was here in the States.
Was it really?
Yeah. It was an ex-fireman. You heard about him?
Yeah.
Ex-fireman got his face just burned off completely, man. He looked like freaking that dude from Hannibal that was in the wheelchair or whatever it was. He was rough. He looked rough. They did a full facial transplant. It healed over. He doesn't look perfect, obviously. He's got no eyeballs anymore. But it was a success, and it freaking the first in medical history for a full facial transplant. Yeah. They offered him 2 other faces beforehand. First one was from a Mexican man that his family said no, they backed out of the deal. The second one was a woman's face, and he backed out of that, I'm assuming because it's a woman, he's a guy, he didn't want a woman's face. I can only imagine, I guess that's what it was.
Doesn't sound bad to me.
Try better looking.
Beggars just can't be choosers.
I guess he chose not to. But he got the third one, and it went good. He got it from some 26-year-old man that got into an accident and driving a motorcycle or something like that. 12-hour surgery.
Wow. He doesn't have any eyes, though?
No, his eyes were all burned off. They're all closed up. You could kind of see his eyes, but they're just like white. You know what I mean? They just.
Oh, they were ruined anyway.
Yeah, right. They were ruined. But he got a new face, man. It looks good. Compare. I can pull it up on my phone.
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Good.
I saw it.
It's just amazing what we're doing in the medical field.
Oh, yeah.
I read something on 3D graphing tissue, and they're doing it inside a some kind of gel mold. Like there's like a existing gel, because when you're grafting the tissue sags.
You're talking about when
right?
you're growing new organs?
Right.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they're doing
You're
it
basically
with
cloning it with some proteins and like that.
Yeah, totally, man.
I can't think of what it's called.
I don't know either. But they're doing it with like store-bought products. The store-bought, or I don't know what store, but the readily available 3D printer. There you go.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's a guy with a facial transplant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looks great, ain't it?
Well, I saw, I would say about 5 years back in France, they did a partial facial.
Okay.
And I mean, it came out real good.
This is after, I don't even know how many surgeries, the before picture, I don't know how many surgeries he had to do for skin grafting and stuff, just to get to this point.
It's
And then to do a whole facial transplant and give him this guy's
that's an
face.
amazing change.
Oh,
right
yeah.
there. I mean, this here,
You're able to live. You're blind. You're blind.
you're blind, but people don't look at you and go, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
You know,
Kids
I
aren't
mean,
looking at you just
The,
terrified, running
the
the other way.
relief this guy must feel from
Just knowing
Yeah.
it. Just knowing it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, but with that 3D,
Incredible
I'm not so sure this eye don't work.
I don't know, but that eye looks pretty. That's more closed up than the left
I
eye.
think they just.
You know what I mean? They just probably just opened it up. They might have even put in glass eyes for all we know.
Yeah.
True.
Because I think if you're that burned, I think your eyes on.
Hell,
to a
look at
certain
the
degree.
ears, man. This guy's got no ears to begin with.
But he has
and then
actually
people
ears.
gave him good. I mean, those ears are great.
Well, yeah, it's amazing what they can do. I mean, in France, the first they put a womb
Yeah.
and fallopian tubes and everything in a transgender, and
What?
she just gave birth.
She gave birth.
Gave birth.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Yep.
That blows my mind.
That's
I-
France, baby.
That blows my mind. So
I mean-
what was once a man, he transgender changed, total sex organ restructuring, and actually functional.
And functional and gave birth.
Holy shit!
So
Now someone that does that, they get periods?
yeah,
They do get
all
periods?
all that.
Holy fuck!
I mean, you're basically getting somebody else's functioning equipment.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know,
You do that, right? Now, do you have to be on like estrogen pills for the rest of your life? Is there like something that you have to sustain
no,
for the course of your
I
life?
mean, it depends on how far you go.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
The
I
person
mean,
that gave birth, do you think?
no, definitely not.
Okay.
Okay. If you're just having a gonadectomy, then yeah, you're still gonna. You know, if you're not going with a full procedure,
Yeah.
okay, then you're gonna be on estrogen pretty much. You know, until 3-4 years. Your gonads will stop producing estrogen, or you can just have, or testosterone, or you can just have them removed.
Yeah.
But well before that time, you'll be female.
Really? Okay.
Anywhere between 10 months and 3 years, depending. So, I mean, I can show you. Check this out.
That's so crazy. Blows my mind. You can morph your body, and then like give birth if you wanted to take it that far. I didn't know that was even a
But
possibility.
it's not in the United States. France is ahead of us in medical technology.
Okay.
They've always been. I mean, most of the great medicines come from France.
They
AZT,
fucking
I
got
think, came from France.
Romulans over there.
Well, Romulans.
Yeah, they're good. They're not real good fighters, but they're good at medicine and cooking.
You know, if we would invest half of what we invest in our military into science and medical and stuff, we would be right there
Oh,
with
man,
them,
talk
or if
about
not
like
a half.
NASA not being privatized now by like a handful of companies.
Shit.
And then they're gonna start sending people to space just because they can do it because they
Yeah.
run that shit. You
Yeah.
know, Boeing and
Oh yeah.
government doesn't want to fund that shit, and I don't understand.
To be
Like,
honest,
What's funny, what blows my mind is that, you have these politicians that want to, like, they campaign saying they want to boost the military or whatever, help finance more military action. Our military is the biggest finance military in the world. In the world, I think 10 times higher than the closest competitor. And we still need to pump more money into them? It's freaking ridiculous.
it's
How about just maintain right there and we just add finances somewhere else? Or drop finances to it? I don't know.
But like we talked about again with the fear, like the fear is what keeps our military the best.
You
fear
are right about that.
I mean, it insists upon it.
This country was built on fear.
Yep.
Built on fear. When I think it came out this past week. I'm sure it did. France's president came out and said that they were still going to take in 30,000 refugees.
Oh, yeah.
This is a country that actually
Just
got bombed,
attacked.
got
Right.
attacked, and they're still going to take in
you
refugees.
know what? When we talked
because
about it,
and it was also because he said that they're not going to stop us from being who we are. They are not going to scare us and divert and change our ideals. But here in America, an ocean of fucking way, everyone's ready to give it up. Ted Cruz is trying to pass bills that if anyone gets fucking claimed to be a terrorist, that you automatically lose your citizenship. They revoke you as a United States
well, you
citizen.
know what? I've heard like governors can't have a say. It's actually up to the president, and that's why the Refugee Act is actually 1980. It came out, and it actually like it gives whatever you call it, like high authority or the true doctrine to the president. So it's.
Yeah.
I mean, but actually,
they just
but
make
it's just
it difficult.
everything's so
They make it
stagnant
difficult.
right now. It's like there's not really a decision being made.
And you know what? 10,000 people is like not that many people when you're talking about distributing them through the entire country. You know what I mean? We have more than 10,000 people in the town of Chesterton. There's almost 2,000 people that go to the Chesterton High School. 10,000 people is not that much.
No, it really isn't.
It really isn't. And to be freaking out about it when you're only going to get maybe 10, 20 people that might be extremists.
Might be bad, yeah.
Yeah, that might be bad is absolutely ridiculous.
And that's a might be. There's
That's
no
a might be.
guarantee.
That's a
I mean,
might be.
what people don't realize is that most Muslims,
Yeah.
okay, are seriously more peaceful than Christians or seculars.
Right.
Actually, they're less likely to even literally actually swat a real fly, like for real. Then there's extremists.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, the possibility is that none of them are terrorists, and it's a high likelihood.
Apparently,
for sure.
Indiana alone, there's already been 44 living here
Okay.
for the past few years.
Refugees?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have like planted their roots here, you know.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah.
so it's I don't know. It's
It's
crazy.
ridiculous. It's just I find it ridiculous.
There was
I know
a-
people would argue with us
There was
about that, but
there was a mosque attacked in Texas,
okay.
and just to show that it just shows like the unstable and ununderstanding of we just don't take the time to actually understand cultures. Instead, we immediately buy into the fear. And I thought we would learn something after like the Patriot Act and
After
like, post 9/11,
9/11,
like
when we lost a
when
bunch
everybody
of
was
freedom.
just so fearful, and now to see like everyone still being just as like, you know.
Reverting right back to that
Yeah,
same fear
to that
tactic and
almost
falling
like-
right into it.
Yeah,
What is this?
barbarism.
What am I looking at? This is the same person. This
Yeah.
guy is her now.
Yeah.
This is the same.
Wow.
That's 15 months HRT.
15 months HRT.
15
Holy
months.
hell. You wouldn't. You see her in the bar or out on the street. You would never know.
Just scroll up and
Never.
you'll see more examples.
Scroll. Okay. What? See, that's crazy.
That's down.
Oh, scrolling up. Well,
Yeah. Check out WWE Man there.
Who's that? Chris Jericho?
No. He does look like it though.
But you can tell it's the same person, but only in the
Right,
eyes.
dog.
right.
The
I would never know. You would never know.
No.
You would never know.
That's why Mari makes tons of money off of that.
that one you kind of know.
You kind of
You can't
kinda
hide
not-
geeky.
Oh, you saw this?
Yeah.
Did you see this, John?
What?
This post here, the Syrian refugees say they will go back if we don't meet these demands. Did you read that?
Oh.
These people, I think those are the ones I saw from Norway or something.
Yeah.
Okay. These people have been there. They're from Syria. They've been there in Norway for, I think they said 8 months. And now they're refusing to go back inside whatever building that they're in. They're refusing to go in there because there's no TV. There's no lockers. There's no, I forgot what else they were complaining about.
I mean,
No,
You can check it out. But the biggest one was like, there's no TV, there's no lockers, there's no privacy. They're all in probably cots or something still. They get 10 or 12 euros a day, or whatever the currency is in Norway. It's not euros.
Kroners. Isn't it?
Kroners, I think you're right.
They get paid in Cronin's disease?
Cronin's disease, for sure. And they're saying that they might as well just go back to Syria because this is not what they were promised. They were promised a better life. And that
Right here it is.
puts a bad image on refugees. And they're dressed well, they have nice clothes. I don't know if that's the clothes they came from Syria with, or they've gotten those clothes.
To say that you have it better off in Syria that's getting blown up is saying something.
That is saying
That's
something.
like, I want to see these conditions.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, this is
It's a bad vibe for Syria,
That really
for refugees.
paints a
coming.
different picture.
It does.
But are these people like people set up, you know?
This is the quote. It's like one of the refugees, an English-speaking Syrian woman, stated, "This is not a life when you get inside to a room without a TV, just a bed. There is no fridge, no lockers, no privacy. The clothing worn by the speaker was better quality than would be expected for a refugee. Her hair had been dyed red. The woman did not stop there. She wanted to say, 'We're going to stay outside because we don't want to eat this food,'" which
The food, right?
Okay, so yeah, this sounds clearly like an actress or something
Yeah.
that's like taking a role,
Right,
you know,
right.
for like to paint a picture, you know. It's like
"And we don't want to stay in this room. We are running away from our country because of the situation, and now we live in a jail. The evident dissatisfaction with the afforded provisions comes as something of a shock as they are being provided at the expense of the taxpayers." The reporter followed up with the woman the next morning. In addition to her unwavering complaints about living conditions, she also criticized the allowance that the refugees were being given from the government of the Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Oh,
Okay.
pay them in fucking peyote.
They're giving, no, it is euros. They're only giving them 12 euros.
Okay.
That's more than zero.
Right.
They're feeding them, clothing them.
You're getting that a week.
I mean, if you
Not
want more money, go get a job.
Well, I don't know if they're cleared to go out yet. They're still
when
in there,
they're
like,
cleared to go
FEMA
out,
camps.
then they will have the room with the TV and all that.
Yeah, I imagine Norway is going to take care of them once they get clear to go out and do their thing. But like you said, it's going to take, even when the refugees come to the States, it's going to take 6 to 12
This sounds like some lady that isn't used to having it too bad.
Yeah. It sounds like she had it really good in Syria, and for whatever reason, or decent in Syria, and then decided, I'm leaving, I'm gonna go start a new life.
She didn't want to get blowed up.
It sounds like to me, it
Maybe.
sounds a little like Wag the Dog. Sounds like they just play someone to make an image that they want to portray.
So you think it was set
Like,
up?
I don't think these people are protesting. I want to hear it should be like a huge crowd if it's an entire building of people that all want these same demands. It
Well,
sounds
wasn't
like kind
an
of.
entire.
So I mean, yeah. It's
It was
just
like
a
it looked
certain-
like 6 or 7.
Yeah, there was
people.
only a few.
Yeah, it makes me curious, you know.
Yeah,
Very
it was that girl, a young dude like that,
I don't
and
think
an older
Norway
gentleman
would set
too.
something like that up.
No,
man.
I'm just saying, like, people themselves for publicity would. Why wouldn't we? We could all dress up
Oh, I
as
see
someone,
what you're
go in
saying.
front of them and be like, these are our demands, this is terrible. It paints the picture we want to of our opinion, right, of our agenda.
Okay.
And we can get, like, a fucking blog from it. We can also get, like, some news time, maybe, like, whatever else. And, like,
It seems like really a horrible way of getting your agenda across, though.
Well, it's
I don't
more
see
of
it.
like the people like that take credit for like serial killers and whatever else. They kind
Yeah.
of just.
So you're
want
saying
that
those are
attention.
actual those are you're saying it's possible.
I'm saying question
Question
everything.
that those are not actual refugees,
Right.
and those are people
Dyed
staging the
hair,
thing.
like you know what I
Yeah,
mean, like
dyed hair.
dyed hair. We're going there. If you're dyeing your hair, you get unless that's
You
Prince
really-
Ali or like somebody that we like
Hey,
is hiding there.
Hey, maybe
royalty.
she used her 5 of her 12 euros on a box of hair dye.
Right.
you might not be wrong, man, because, I mean, if any, the internet's taught us anything, it's that there's a lot of bullshit out there.
Oh, yeah. If it doesn't come from a reputable source,
Right.
you know, I try to get my information from UNDOC,
Okay.
which is United Nations Department of Crime and Drugs. So any crime statistic or drug statistic I want, I go there because
Okay.
it's not doctored. You know, anything they say that's bad or whatever that we're doing is whatever. It's
Yeah.
usually true. And I don't, you can't, if it's not backed up or supported by like, I don't know, if it's a medical thing,
Yeah.
if John Hopkins doesn't say the same thing, or the New England Journal of Medicine doesn't say the same thing,
Yeah.
you can't really put stock in it.
Right. That's the thing too now is right. You got to check out
You gotta
like multiple
cross-reference.
cross reference. You got to cross reference news because of just people putting their own agenda.
Yeah.
Their own agenda. Like,
Agenda.
All right, dude.
Agenda.
let's do Baffoon Goon.
Okay.
Time.
How many do you have?
Baffoon Goon.
Baffoon
Goon.
Baffoon Goon. Okay, so I'll go first with one.
Do it.
15-year-old Paul Horner was convicted of domestic terrorism and is now facing 25 years for a prank on a fellow gamer. He called a bomb threat or reported of a similar serious crime on a rival's home and raided by SWAT. That's what swatting is. And so this is what he did. And he posed under the username of his gamer rival and then said that he had killed 4 people. And so the SWAT team like swarmed his
Holy
house.
hell! Broke down the door.
Right, and this is apparently called swatting. So
People do this to each other on a regular basis, and if it's
I
called
guess
something,
so, yeah.
Jesus.
But 25 years.
Yeah.
So
He's getting charged with
That seems
terrorism.
legit.
Yeah.
Somebody could have got killed.
definitely.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Sure.
and over what I guarantee what it was is that his clan was having a battle with that kid's clan,
It's so
and he's like, that kid's he's better than me, so I'm gonna get him eliminated from the
When
competition.
video games consume your life that hard, where you got to start doing some shit like that, you need to take a step back from video games.
I mean, it's bad enough that they hacked the game and use lag switches.
I don't even know what that is, but that is bad, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got another bomb one for you. Dude called in a bomb threat to his hospital because his, I guess it wasn't his wife, his girlfriend was going to have their child and didn't let him know, and he wasn't going to be there. He was out of state or something. So since he wasn't going to be able to make it, he called a bomb threat into the hospital. Cops went in there, did the whole bomb sweep and stuff, and they were able to track it back to him. So now he's getting charged with terrorism as well.
Oh, wow.
Well, did he think a bomb threat would stop the baby?
I don't know, that's what I'm saying.
I guess so.
I don't
Baby's
think
gonna
it
get
is.
Like
scared.
in the movies, they would evacuate his wife
Yeah.
out and they'd be in the street for a while.
Suck it in, Mom, we got a bomb threat.
Yeah. Like if John McClane would pull up.
Right. Like the baby's gonna get scared. I'll wait a couple more
Right.
weeks till the threat level's down.
We gotta get back down to yellow.
Right. Exactly.
Alright, I
got one here.
You got one? Go
Okay,
ahead.
so some garbage was spilled out in the neighbor's lawn, and so it became a dispute. And Carlo Morris Cerruti, he's 50 years old. He took his Klingon sword, a bataleth
Oh, God.
or batleth. I don't know how you
Batleth.
Yeah. The neighbor was able to take it away from him and take him down. The story becomes complicated because he's saying that he threw garbage all in his yard and then confronted him in the lawn with this Klingon sword from Star Trek.
All right.
And then so the other person saying that had the sword that he
The
came
Klingon
into,
said it.
yeah, he said that he came into his house and it was then he grabbed the sword to defend himself as he was entering his home.
Okay.
So they're trying to like makes that's I guess that's the only defense you can have if you went saw red and came out with your Klingon sword to attack somebody. Be like, oh no, I was in my crib.
Dude.
He told me that he was gonna come into my house.
I think if someone came at me with a Klingon, I'd probably just run because I'd be laughing so hard that I had to get away because I couldn't fight them because I'd fucking be laughing.
I'd have to run to my house and grab my lightsaber. Now we're in trouble.
Dude, that is ridiculous. Jesus.
So.
Baffoon
Goon there.
Got a couple. I don't know which one I want to use though. Boy. I guess I'll use this guy. This guy in Greensburg, Pennsylvania, cost $4,000 in damages. What he did was he was backing into curb meters, the street meters with the change, and he stole a bunch of street meters.
Oh, okay, Trailer Park Boys.
Got $30 worth of fucking change.
Wow.
Busted. They
15
fucking
years.
got, something like that. Got busted because he was on security cameras, some kind of surveillance cameras on the streets. Got his license plate, got pulled over a couple days later, going to jail for $30.
Wow.
It's right up there with like fucking robbing a gas station.
Well,
What the fuck? It's worse than robbing. You're stealing change.
Well, it's even worse than that because it's $30 in change that he acquired.
Yeah.
But the 5 or 6 change things that he broke will cost us, the taxpayers. That's our change.
$4,000.
Right. And
What?
Yeah.
$4,000.
He calls $4,000 worth of damages.
Oh, they always jack that up. You know it doesn't cost that much.
It
At
might.
least $2,000 though.
Yeah, I would agree that.
Still, for $30, you stole $30.
But he stole from us
Wow.
$2,030. If
Son of a...
we'll say.
Right. Ridiculous. Yeah, $4,000 is to the highest bidder. To fix the problem.
Solid gold ones.
Wow.
All right, man. That's
Okay.
our 4, Mike. You
Yep.
gotta choose.
We have once again Paul Horner, who was swatting his gamer rival and ended up getting 25 years for the prank.
We got the hospital bomber
Oh, yeah.
to stop the birth of his child.
Right. We have the garbage dispute with the Klingon sword.
Ridiculous. And then we got the freaking parking meter basher.
Yeah. The bandit.
I'm gonna go with the guy who tried to stop his kid from being born. I mean, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's
that was a
pretty
bad
solid.
idea.
That's pretty solid.
And that's serious. I mean, post 9/11,
Dude.
like, you don't fuck around
You don't
with that
do that.
anymore. That's
No,
not a
no.
joke anymore.
Yeah.
No.
You know?
But it
It's,
used to be all
like
fun
it's like
and
being
games.
Yeah, right.
It's
Like,
like
we got the cat.
And really before Timothy McVeigh in what was that, 96 or whatever.
Right.
Before
right.
that,
the
it was
Unabomber.
hee ha ha.
right.
Yeah.
It's like trying to go to the airport and like even just saying the word bomb in any kind of sense instantly gets people's.
Hey,
Oh, I heard a story. These 2 people were speaking just Arabic at the airport. I don't know what airport. No, it was Chicago. It was O'Hare. That's right. And they almost didn't let these people get on the plane. They delayed the plane because people said that they were concerned, and all they were doing was just speaking Arabic. That's how fearful
Right.
we get. I know it keeps coming back to that, but it's a hot topic. It just blows
Okay,
my
when we
mind.
first reported on the France shooting,
Yeah.
okay, you said Eagles were playing it.
Yes.
And so I was
Yes,
like,
please
why-
clarify this.
Yeah, I was
Stop, bring it back to speed, just in case no one's heard it before.
First, because it was Friday the 13th, it had just happened, literally, like 3 hours or something before
Literally
I actually,
just happened,
or like
yeah.
2 hours before I came to your house to do the episode. And so we thought Eagles, the American band.
Because my wife
playing.
was on it, and she heard it, and that's what
Right.
she said. It was the Eagles.
And so, like, when we were talking, I was, like, thinking, but I didn't say, I was like, man, Joe Bosch didn't have a gun in his guitar case.
doesn't seem legit.
Like, I was like, if anybody, Glenn Frey, it's like, guitar just becomes a, like, Desperado, like, shit, guitar gun. But no, it was Eagles of Death Metal. That was the band. And, it was in Bataclan Theater, and it was attacked by terrorists, of course. But this guy, Steven Anderson, a preacher, he said that it happened because the band was playing death metal, of course, and he speaks upon them being high on drugs, homosexuals, and death worshippers, of course, because they're playing, death metal as part of their band. And filled the concert and goes on to say that people in the band hung out at gay bars until 5 a.m. The speech is like 55 minutes long, the whole thing, but it starts you on the link right where he's speaking. And I always joked about this kind of thing because when we were younger, with Slayer coming out and Morbid Angel and
Sepultura, Deicide, Cannibal Corpse.
Went on for even Danzig, who is thrown in metal, but
That's
he's
light
still
rock.
alive. Yeah, so but to still think that people are so fearful of that, it's like there's Christian metal now, folks.
Yeah.
Are you even?
I mean, I gotta be honest here, guys. It has the word death metal in the band.
Right.
This band does not play death metal.
Right, totally. Upon investigation, this is part of Queens of the Stone Age.
Right.
Are you serious?
So it's really not it's not death metal, but
it's like rock.
No.
So
Not even that heavy a rock.
I'm gonna bring it up.
I got you, man.
Yeah.
I think they'd sing, and I love heavy metal.
Yeah, we can play some of this speech to bring you up to date, because this guy is a character.
But listen to this from CNN when we think about this terrible event that happened on Friday in France. This is what CNN had to say. The worst carnage occurred at Bataclan Theater, with at least 80 left dead. A journalist who was at a rock concert there escaped and told CNN, "We lied down on the floor not to get hurt." It was a huge panic. The terrorists shot at us for 10 to 15 minutes. It was a bloodbath. Julian Pierce didn't hear the attackers speak, but he said one friend who escaped heard them talk about Iraq and Syria. Later, he said the men were speaking French. Two men dressed in black started shooting, and after wounded people fell to the floor, the gunmen shot them again, execution style. Now, what I just read to you was about the place where most of the killing took place. Out of 128 dead, 80-some were dead at this rock concert. Let me tell you a little bit about the rock concert that the people were at when they died. This is what a lot of people are not emphasizing about this story. The concert was for a band.
Don't you kind of feel like it's Footloose, the town in Footloose?
Yeah, right.
People are at a concert
I feel like it's 1951.
death metal, and these are members
People-
from another band.
And people watching this guy are probably just like,
You can hear them in the background too. Yeah.
It's that every music.
Here's an article about the frontman of this rock band, Jesse Hughes. Okay, I'm going to read for you this article. As two spotty teenage fans, one dressed in skinny pink jeans and a goofy oversized cap, poked their head nervously around the dressing room door at Islington's O2 Academy, Jesse Hughes calls out to them. This is the main guy of the band. "Come in, boys. Dudes, can you roll a joint? Don't put tobacco in there. I like to smoke it pure. And don't worry
What the
about running out. I got some more coming later.
Are you
so we can
serious?
get stoned all night."
oh my.
For Hughes,
How's he getting this information, first off?
fast-living frontman of California-based rock band Eagles of Death Metal, the 10-second conversation barely registers. But for the two wide-eyed young men, it was one they will probably never forget.
He did say this information came from a reporter.
Okay.
With them.
He also refuses to do anything at less than full tilt. Make no mistake, hanging out with Hughes is a proper rock and roll experience. An
These guys are
unashamed
like-
fan of
I know,
crystal
right?
meth, or as he calls it, speed. The craggy face and ginger mustache, self-confessed hillbilly from South Carolina looks and acts like a man born to be a rock star. And he proudly reels off one debauched story after another. He's not nicknamed the Devil for nothing. He has endless tales of
This is where it
fighting,
gets in.
shagging, and drug-taking excess. Now, I wish I could read you more of the article, but it's all so filthy and profane, it was even find any quotes from this article.
But I did.
That can even be read.
But I did. Yeah.
Here's a few that I found. Religious, and I felt like the devil had given me a song. He's talking about songwriting.
Okay, this guy's a preacher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Okay.
Had given me this song. So his religion's to worship the devil. Eagles
Right.
of Death Metal is the name of the band. And the Bible says in Proverbs, all they that hate me love death. Speaking of God, those who hate God love death. You know, there's something about when you go to a concert
It's like,
of death metal, somebody might get killed.
What?
What?
You know, you're worshiping death. And then all of a sudden people start dying. Oh, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, you love death so much that you bought the ticket. You love
I think there's
worshiping
one
Satan.
person in that crowd.
it's
He's looking one direction. It's this one person going, yeah.
just Stewie going,
These murderers, they're wicked, they're murderers. But you know what? Nobody should be at a concert worshiping Satan with this drug-pushing hillbilly faggot.
Whoa.
Right. Yeah, and so.
This band. Somebody told me.
Okay, this guy
So
is
he-
exactly.
Wow, this goes on for a while.
Well, he's on a rant right there. I'm not sure. That's about as far as I could. I was like, good, wow.
That's a
As
video.
far as-
The video is like a 51-minute
Yeah,
video.
that's what I was saying. But yeah, so
Holy
I mean,
hell.
so yeah, what do you think about that?
What do I think?
I think
I just can't.
that is exactly what gives Christians a bad name.
Absolutely.
Okay, because the majority of Christians don't think that way.
Right.
It's just again the extremists.
Right. To me, it's just crazy that it's still just about music, and they're trying to give a correlation to why death was acceptable for these people because of the music itself.
Exactly, that's not true.
Wow, it just blows my mind that that's still that still exists. That ideology that's so old, and like Buddy Holly would come out and be like, "Damn it!" and they're fast and roller coaster, and they'd be like, "A devil!" And now it's like
They
There's
wouldn't
always
show
something, right?
Elvis's hips on
right, yeah, it's
TV.
too sexual. His hips.
But I listen to death metal every day, and have not, worshipped death not even once. And in fact, I'm a Christian. As far as anything else, that guy is an idiot.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, he's clearly got a far right wing agenda. He wants to enforce his values upon other people.
Right.
And how do you do that the best? Use
Fear.
That's it.
And justify why people below you or that you judge as like,
and more
not on the same level or
And more
inferior.
importantly-
So you dehumanize them. Why? They listen to Eagles of Death Metal. They could be a folk rock band with that name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even know. He just was like, one night, he was probably just sitting there, and he was like, you know what? This evil music brings it on, And just, you can do that. Ice cream goes up in the summer, so does crime. Whoa, it's ice cream that's causing crime. Yes! It's easy to play that little game called Jump to Conclusions.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I would like to also point out that the Eagles of Death Metal do not play death metal in it. Can I play a?
Yeah, let's play it.
Yeah, please.
Because it's not even really that good.
I do like a lot of the Queens of the Stone Age, but
Wait,
So
that's
they are a
because of-
form, like they
It's
play
the
like
bass
that
player
style.
and
Oh.
another. It's not what's his name, Josh Holmes or yeah. Oh, it is him. Yeah. Yeah.
As you can clearly tell, that's not death metal. Would
metal
you like an
at all.
example of death metal for the listeners?
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Yeah, that is the farthest from death. I don't want to say the farthest, but that is not even in the realm. It's not even in
That's
the
your
realm.
typical rock and roll there.
It's what
And
I
then-
said. It's like maybe sometimes
I wish-
songs have a little edge.
I hope someone plays that Preacher, the band, eventually, and he's like, this is
he's
What
jamming
you
to
think
it. He's
is-
like, yeah. And then suddenly he's like, uh-oh, when he realizes who it is. His car explodes.
He would, yeah.
Oh, look, Hot Pocket.
No, dude, if there's anything metal, it's Hot Pocket.
Here, you know where to.
What do we got here? What'd you choose?
Nile.
Oh, yeah. It's not old Nile, though?
No. I thought that might be a little too heavy for this.
Oh.
Almost intolerable.
Yeah, I mean, what blows my mind is that people don't realize that a lot of these bands, too, they're not always singing about the devil.
The Cannibal Corpse never sings about the devil.
Right.
They sing about serial killers and stuff like that. It's basically like listening to a scary movie
Okay.
instead of watching one.
Right, definitely. Yeah.
So these guys basically sing about ancient Egyptian gods and things of that nature.
So, yeah.
So we can all agree that that preacher is
Wackadoo, yeah, he's
He
wackadoo.
is the Baffoon Goon of the week.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
He took that.
Now
He took
I'm
that.
offended that he won the title instead. I have to return to that title.
Oh shit.
You got news there, brother?
I got these car thieves. All right, so this mom pulls into her employee's parking lot and leaves her car running, has her kid in the car, goes inside. 2 people jump in her car and steal her car. They look in the back and her kid, and they see a kid in the back. I'm not sure how old this kid was.
Dropped him off at school, right?
Dropped him off at school. The thieves ask him, where do you go to school? He told them, and they dropped the kid off at school and then ditched the car 3 miles down the road.
Wow.
That's awesome that like these guys like dropped the kid off at school. But like, you know, my mom, when we were kids, always left us in the fucking car. I don't know, maybe in the gas station she left the car running maybe or something. Wintertime, it's cold, did that stuff. But like, it's super typical to leave your kid, but you hear of these. It's not like a big thing. It doesn't happen all the time. But fuck, dude, how terrified would you be as a parent
Yeah.
for that to happen?
Right. What? So she was at Redbox, or
She was at Redbox.
she was
at
really?
No, she was at her employees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her
She was
employers.
at work. She went into work to check something out.
Maybe
before
get her
she went to
paycheck.
school.
Let's say she was going to get her paycheck.
Right.
She'd leave. I'm just going to be in and out real
Boss
quick.
is like, "What you doing? Still got the kids this weekend?"
Yeah. But dude, it makes me rethink. Like I got a kid on the way. I don't think I'll ever leave my kid in the car ever, because I would feel like the biggest piece of shit parent if that just so happened
Right.
to come across and to be my to happen to me.
Yeah, I don't think I ever left my kids in the car until Jada was 12
Okay.
and Bird was 10.
Yeah.
You know, and at that point they're like, you know,
They're old enough.
They're old enough
Right. They're
to-
screaming at a dude or
yeah,
something,
you know,
right?
hey, help, you know, it'd be all right.
Or jumping out of the car.
But even then, for the most part, I still make them come in with me because, you know, there's stuff that needs carrying.
Yeah. There's a shift change at a certain age. It's somewhere around 8 or 9 where they start to become a workforce.
Right, you know, a source of free labor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They sure as fuck do. But I would have totally. This story has changed my view. I would have totally have never thought second guessed leaving my kid in the car. Let's say at the gas station, I'm gonna go in and just pay for gas and come back out, leave the car running, go in there and pay my bill and then out of here.
Yes.
I don't think I'll do that anymore just because, fuck, dude, the chance of it happening to you is probably slim. It's probably slim, but I don't want to take that chance.
Well, I never took the chance, but that's only
That's good.
because I am an extremely paranoid person.
Yeah. definitely will.
I
get away
live
with it.
in South Bend, Mishawaka.
Uh-huh.
It's a much larger and it was 5 times murder capital of the world.
Yeah.
So
You get your really nice areas of South Bend, and you got your really shitty areas.
And it's like
of
I was
South Bend.
explaining to my brother. He's all like, we were talking about how he kind of got lost coming in, and he's like, I'm like, oh no, you got to go through this one ghetto if you come this way. And he's like, well, I came through it, and I said, no, that's a different one.
That's a different ghetto. That's the wrong ghetto.
That's the wrong ghetto. Completely different ghetto. It's like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Driving, I don't know. For some reason, when I'm driving out to South Bend, I still get a little mixed up.
It's a big town.
Yeah.
South Bend's big, man. Did you hear Valpo's gonna have they opened up their ice skating rink for the first time?
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, they got like a whole like canopy pavilion. I don't know, pavilion's the right word, but the whole canopy thing. $5 to go in, $8 or $7 to rent some skates.
Yeah.
That's a big, nice area, man.
Nice. That's
Valpo
cool.
does it up right.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they bigger, more taxes and stuff like that, but Valpo's fucking nice, man.
Yeah,
Valpo's nice.
Valpo's the future.
Valpo's not the future. But they're doing all right.
They're trying to be.
They're doing all right.
Trying to be. Okay, so this girl here, who's 23,
Okay.
she posed as a 15-year-old girl, and
23, posed at 15. All right.
on social media, and hooked up with younger kids, younger guys.
What?
Yeah, and
So she's hooking up with minors.
right. At 23, and so she was with this guy, this boy who was 13, and the mom found out the real age of her and alerted the police. The mom went on to say that the girl claims that she's pregnant.
No.
And she has given her son a transmitted disease.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck? She's going to prison, right?
I don't know.
Well,
No,
she's
not
raped.
well.
She raped the boy.
Well, yeah, definitely.
So you're going to prison. Now you're going to have a child. Let's just say it's true.
right.
The child's going to be born and then
In
get taken.
prison, probably.
Oh, for sure in prison. If she's lucky, she's still out of prison before she goes in.
She gives birth to. She gives birth to Bane.
The only one to escape the darkness.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, man, that is a totally different level of.
I had that
And-
down as an original Baffoon Goon. I was like, you know what? It's
Yeah,
really
that's
not a
It's
Baffoon
really
Goon.
not. Yeah, good call on that.
Um,
That's a fucking
Yeah.
sicko, man.
yeah.
To purposely, you just missed this 23-year-old post as a
15-year-old
15-year-old
on social media to hook up with a young
Minors.
teen boy, right? And so she was seeing this 13-year-old boy. The mom found out her real age, alerted police, and the mom went on to say that the girl claims that she's pregnant by her son and has given her son a transmitted disease.
Okay, this is starting to become a real common thing with these women molesting young boys.
You think it's more common or just being out there around the open?
We're hearing more about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before it was all like, yeah, get him, boy, or whatever.
Right.
But now it's
A lot of
not
teachers are getting busted.
right now. They're actually it's not a good thing.
Right.
Just because he's a boy and it's still not.
Yeah.
Another trend I've seen recently is the more publicization of men being raped by women.
Okay.
I've seen that it has risen over the last 4 or 5 years to all new heights.
Well, dude, it's serious because just last week it wasn't rape, but we saw this guy went to the cops about these 2 girls that were like sexually assaulting him at a gas station or convenience store.
And it could
She
have
was
escalated
twerking on.
to
She
rape.
was twerking on him, and then the other girl was grabbing at his crotch and shit. And one got caught. That as far as we know. But rape. I mean, even like colleges is huge right now with rape. There's a big thing with college rape, and then women and then women falsely accusing men of rape.
Right.
That's also becoming an issue.
I got a buddy in prison right now for that.
Yeah, I mean, For what? For actually doing it, or getting falsely
No,
accused?
me and him were doing something that I couldn't admit in open court
All right.
when he supposedly raped this girl, Crystal Russell.
No shit.
And of course, he knew I wasn't going to be able to. He didn't bring up the fact that we were doing what we were doing.
Right.
So as not to implicate me, because that's the rules of my generation.
So you know for a fact. You know for a fact.
100% fact he did
He
not
didn't
do it.
Didn't touch this girl. Didn't
Never
rape
touched her.
But it got totally prosecuted and convicted of it.
25 years.
This shit happens, dude. It is fucking sickening. It's fucking sickening. All a woman's got to do... I posted something on our Two Guys in a Buzz page of that feminist... did you watch that?
Yeah, I actually watched the trailer and put it up.
She did a documentary, and she interviews the MRA, and it's men's rights activists. And this isn't... I'm going to say this, but this isn't taking nothing away from women and what their struggles are. But guys are pushed to the side a lot of times, especially when it comes to divorces and their kids.
College grants.
Yeah, college grants. Yeah, okay. It's you're pushed to the side. I mean, how easy is it for a woman? All they got to do is just claim some kind of abuse, and it's set. They can get a protective order like that.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the dad now has to get fucking
Supervised
visitations, and it is not. It is
See,
so
I had the opposite
easy.
though. So I was with my dad, my mom
Okay.
actually, and I had supervised visitations. So, but yeah, it's. I'm able to see it. Like I think that it's kind of ballsy for her to do it. She's clearly doing it for publicity to try and make a debate. A lot of it's in Canada too, so I don't know how Canada operates.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's definitely for like another episode where we can dig deep in that and actually get like some females on the show and
I think
like
it's a great idea. Absolutely.
Because that's actually like real talk for like a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I thought that if you watch the trailer, that the trailer, it's made to like. I mean, I showed it to my girlfriend, and she immediately got worked up.
Did she really?
Yeah, because it's and that's why it's that touchy of a subject.
It is
like,
a touchy
you can't
subject.
Just,
it's very touchy.
yeah, you can't demand one or another. It should be about equal rights, and I think we
Right.
could do like a whole episode on
show
that.
on
for
just that.
definitely that.
Yeah. It insults me.
Huh?
When's a woman on the show? It's got a woman on the show.
Oh, here we go. Well, let's talk about that then. If you've already brought it up, let's clarify so that we can all understand, like, we're all on the same page here.
So you brought it up a little bit. You're going through a change.
Right.
You're going through a change. Okay, simple question. When did you first know?
I was about 3.
You're about 3 years old?
Mhm.
And you've been struggling. I mean, you're how old now?
I'm 38 years old.
Okay, you're lying. You're 38? I thought you were 40-something for sure.
No.
Okay, so you're 38. 38, that's my bad.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, that's
I'm
my
29.
bad. I'm 29. 29. So tell us, man, the struggle. I mean, that's 3 years old to that's 35 years.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I knew that I was not who I was supposed to be around 3 or 4 because I gravitated to female things. I wanted to play with strawberry shortcakes and Barbies, and I wanted to do my hair, and I wanted to do my nails, and I wanted to do girl things by the time I was 3 or 4. And that just wasn't acceptable, and neither by my grandparents or my parents.
Right.
As I got older, the feelings got stronger, and I kept trying to tell people, or show people, or sneak, and feminize myself, and that would get me beat. Often. Actually, quite often.
Yeah.
And that didn't stop it. And then I got sent to a mental facility by my parents, where I told them what my problem was. And I believe it was because of my gender identity disorder that my parents yanked me out of the Porter Stark. That's what it was.
Porter Stark.
So the doctors in there knew.
Oh yeah, Dr. Kennison and Dr. Moisoff both knew.
How did they treat you in there?
It was considered a mental disease at that time.
Right.
So, you know, the way they looked at it was, you know, there was two ways to handle it. You could maybe try to medicate it or, you know, go through the process.
Yeah.
Which we know today, there's really just the one way to handle it.
Right.
Therapy to reverse you. Maybe.
Right, yeah, fix it all.
Right. Go hunting for 18 hours.
Right. Exactly. Then I ended up, some things happened. I did some stuff. Ended up in the penitentiary.
Okay.
Got out. Ended up living with my grandparents. Went back to the penitentiary. But before that, my grandma and grandpa had both caught me several times, literally going out dressed. And
Dressed as a woman, like dressed
yeah.
the whole night.
You guys found that bucket of my women's clothes when I was staying at my grandma's the last time.
I didn't.
Oh, yeah,
But
I don't
it was
remember
him.
that.
Yeah.
It was the blue one, the blue bucket.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Okay. Well, anyway, when I was about 22 or 3,
Okay.
I ended up, me and my current wife ended up breaking up for about 7 months. And I got busted again by Aunt Faye and Grandma, dressed as a woman. And I don't know, me and Aunt Faye went to the bar. I was dressed as a woman. We went to Verk's over there at the 420 cutoff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, my Aunt Faye didn't seem to care. My grandma was super upset. That Thanksgiving, Melissa and I got back together. And so I don't know, it's hard to explain. Every time I wanted to do what I needed to do to be me, something would come along and push me as hard as it could back the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fear, cowardice is what I would call it. I've been a coward for at least the last 20 years.
Do you find that just being hard on yourself, judging your lack of willpower to stand for something that you know that is right in yourself, or do you think that
When you have a lack of willpower to stand for something that is right, that is cowardice. Plain and simple. So I'm not just being hard on myself, I was a coward.
Okay. Yeah, you're going more like by the definition, because I wouldn't count you as a coward, man. I personally,
yeah, I would say
I can't.
society
I can never understand. I would never be able to understand your struggle through that.
You
right?
couldn't possibly understand what it's like to look at yourself every day and realize that's not you.
Right.
That is not
There's
you.
no way I could ever understand
To have society and school
Yes.
and friends and family
Yes.
all try to push you into this square peg, but you're
Right.
round. You're
Right.
round. You don't fit in that.
So with that, I wouldn't call you cowardice.
right? Yeah.
Cowardly.
I would. Yeah, I wouldn't call you cowardly. I would just fearful, man. I mean, that has got to be such a scary state to push yourself to be who you want to be when everyone around you, that's the most important people around you, knows. I mean, that you know would not support you whatsoever. You would be by yourself.
Well, I mean, there was one point in my life where I moved out to Colorado and just decided not to talk to anybody that I was related to anymore, including my brother, because I at the time I didn't think, I don't know, I didn't think he would be accepting of who I was.
Okay.
And while I lived there, I lived as a woman full time, worked, lived, all that. I was eventually picked up and extradited back to LaPorte County for probation violation.
Yeah, you gotta fulfill your terms with probation. That's for sure.
Well, you
Fucking
gotta at
probation.
least move.
What a fucking
The problem,
cycle.
the problem with that is I needed to move one more state
No,
away.
You'd have been fine.
I'd have been fine. In Utah, can't touch
You're
me.
good.
The Mormons are like, whatever, come over here.
Fucking Mormons.
Uh,
So what? Go ahead.
oh no.
I was gonna say. So what made you? Because okay, you have 2 daughters.
Mhm.
And you have a wife.
I have actually 4 daughters.
You have 4 daughters.
Right.
Okay.
I have 2 at home. 2
Yeah.
grown.
Okay. Right. And a wife. What makes you now? Besides the fact that you've always felt this way.
It all came to a head, you know. I mean, I'm at a point in my life where I'm at least the halfway, maybe more than halfway point. And I've never been happy and never been who I am supposed to be, who I am, okay? I've never been that person. And it literally has caused strain in every relationship I have with my grandmother, my brother, my cousins, all of that stress focuses itself into like this dark pit of anger, jealousy, and despair. And it causes you to project that onto other people. And I just couldn't do it anymore. So it was either come out and quit being a coward or eat a bullet.
Got to that point, huh?
Yeah.
So you got to feel just mad relief right now. Just
You-
insane relief.
You couldn't imagine, dude.
I know, I can't. I mean, you're talking 30 plus years just pent up.
Yeah,
Frustration.
35 years of,
Yeah. Well, good for you, man, because that's huge. It's huge. It's huge, man. Was there a motivation for you to do it, or it was just time?
it was that or end it.
Right.
I mean, it was. I can't take this person over the next 3 months won't exist anymore.
Okay.
Because I can't take being this person anymore, because it's not me.
Right.
And it never was.
Right.
You know, I learned to, because it was expected of me, I learned to emulate and simulate magically. You know, I basically became my stepfather and my grandfather. I imprinted them onto me so that I could fake it. So.
And you are now go by Robin, am I right?
I do.
Okay, all right.
Even
We've been calling you Mike since the beginning, but
Yeah.
that's because we didn't know we were going to bring it out on this show or not. But
Yeah.
you go by Robin full time now.
I do. I go by Robin. My name is Robin at work. I'm
Right.
called her and she at work.
Okay.
I'm usually called her and she at home.
Okay.
Called her and she by all my friends. My brother's working on
Yeah. No, I
it.
definitely did it for the show because we talked prior about bringing it up. So yeah, but I'm getting better at it. You know, talking about conditioning. You know,
Sure.
I mean, talk about personal pronouns are fused into your mind psychologically, so it's hard to rewire that. I'm happy. Because I definitely didn't want my sister to die. The toll on the family aspect is basically just old ways of thinking, and I'm trying not to put. Talk about another form of conditioning. It's just the way we're brought up. You know, so it's things to, people question everything and people judge harshly. And I think a lot of the backlash in our family is how other people are judged, like themselves are judged by this.
Okay.
And what judgment that brings upon them. And so, for me, I'm trying not to think like that. I think personally that I'm happy, and I hope everything works out, and I actually want to be there because a lot of the times, because of the hardships in the past, and things said, things done, right? I mean, it made it harder. Like, we've been more close now than we were in the past because there was actually a misunderstanding or a distorted vision of why things were the way they are.
Projection of
Right,
that darkness inside of me.
So you were pushing your frustrations maybe out on John.
On everyone.
On
On
everyone.
everyone. I mean, I love my little brother, always have, and he knows that, but I wasn't always the sibling I should have been because I wasn't able to be.
You
I
weren't
wasn't
the person you were
happy.
supposed
I
to.
was frustrated and depressed and angry. And these feelings
Confused.
continued to, no, I would say never confused.
Never confused. Okay.
No.
All right.
I was bullied,
Yeah.
but not confused.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hell of a journey, and you're just now kind of starting it, right? I mean, because you just came out.
I mean, I literally have been
This
on
year, right?
HRT for like 6 weeks.
Oh, okay. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Are you going to work now dressed?
no,
Okay.
I trying to give a buffer zone
Okay.
for my wife and kids.
Okay.
You know,
That's tough on them too.
my middle daughter
Yeah.
is accepting of it 100%.
All right.
Jada.
Yeah.
My oldest daughter wavers.
Mm.
My wife is day to day.
Day to
Some days she's like, I don't know if I can do this, and then some days we're picking boots together.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Which is to be expected, to be honest.
It's,
I mean,
that's
sure.
a huge
Right.
change.
That's completely to be expected
Yeah.
and understandable. And my youngest daughter is like that too. Some days she's just like, and then next day we're listening to music together and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I decided not to just start, you know, I'm going a little slower than I want to
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Yeah.
For them.
Because you're probably ready just to flip the switch. and
Right
just,
now.
Yeah.
This minute.
Right.
Yep. I didn't want to come here like this.
Right. I was expecting you not to come like that. Too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want to. But like I said, I would say by February,
Yeah.
this person won't exist anymore.
Won't exist no more.
It'll be gone.
Mike will be gone.
Gone forever
Yeah.
and replaced by someone who's not disturbed.
Right. So how uncomfortable are you now, dressed as you are now?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Extremely. These have always been the wrong clothes.
Ah, man, that's good for. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. I really am happy for you. I can only imagine, like, the same situation in my family would not be responded to very well. You know what I mean?
It wasn't.
It's just
It hasn't
I understand. I can see it. You know what I mean? I can't understand it because I don't live it. You know what I mean? But I'm super happy for you. Super happy. For
I
you.
mean, I'd say 93% of my family has been understanding.
Okay.
It's just, we'll call them the village elders,
Okay.
okay,
All right.
that are sitting on high and throwing lightning bolts at me.
Okay. When it comes down to it, though, right? I mean, it's your life. You gotta do for yourself.
I already knew going into this when I first decided to tell everyone who was going to be the bolt throwers.
Okay.
I knew right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to just let it out there, let them start throwing their bolts.
Right. Yeah. Struggles, man. That's a struggle. I mean, it's not. I mean, it is a struggle, right? I mean, because you're still dealing with family issues and just being you. You have to be you.
Right, yeah. And I think probably the whole worry that being you is so taboo that you have to change. People around you have to suddenly accept a completely different reality.
Right.
You know.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be tough on you too, John. I mean, in a sense where you have to change, like,
how I.
Rob's been your brother for
Right.
however many years you've been alive.
Yeah.
And not that I know you, and I know you, and it's not that you're against what Robin's going through. It's
but
just,
to suddenly have it so close to home.
yeah, because we've talked about this on the podcast prior to you knowing.
Right, yeah, and not even of this subject, but saying of transgender or
Transgender in general, right?
In general, that but all of a sudden to have now a transgender sibling. That's so close that I've had an idea of as, the older brother, the manly figure, right? Because really, I mean, it was us like listening to Slayer. It was us, rocking out or playing Nintendo or G.I. Joes or running around.
I mean, he was my baby brother.
Yeah.
I figured he was gonna like playing G.I. He's not gonna want to play. I would sneak. We used to have our sister over, okay, and then when that stopped, she still had all of her toys and dresses and stuff in her room, which was her room. And I used to sneak in there and dress up in her clothes and play with their toys and stuff, and I got busted, and they cleared all of her stuff out, and our stepdad put a weight room in there.
Oh.
Started lifting weights in there. But, yeah, I mean, I remember, when I was younger, I was able to be a better brother.
Yeah.
And we played video games together, and we played guns together, and we played toys together. But as I got older, and especially as I matured into adolescence, prepubescence, and pubescence, it became increasingly harder to be nice to anyone, even my little brother.
Right. Fucking, I can't even imagine fucking hormones are going fucking bananas and identity fucking crisis.
Exactly. True 100% identity crisis. And, it sounds evil or wicked, but to a degree, not really being jealous, but maybe kind of in a weird way that they can do this, genetic females.
Okay.
And I know that I'm one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm not, that's not accept, I can't do that.